Hi, I'm Joy. I'm here today with Mike, my sweet little pug. And we're hanging out in the sunroom, just taking care of a few things. And I wanted to share some information about my loss, what I've lost, how I've lost it, and how I plan to continue losing. I've been doing a low carb, let's say dirty, lazy low carb, or if it fits your macros, low carb type of plan. I began in August, early August. My husband started in July. I was wearing a size 22 jeans at the time, and I was larger than I am now. I know the last recorded weight I had before I began this low carb lifestyle was 230 pounds. I know that I had been larger than that and just refused to weigh during that time. So I really don't know what my total weight loss will be. And that's okay. I don't need an exact number because I just know that I've made progress. So as of yesterday, I was down to a size 14 from that 22. 190-ish pounds is where I'm at right now, which is 40 pound loss from what I know, and it was more than that really. And so what I've been doing is low carb. I set my max carbs at 20 a day. I count net carbs, which is going to be your total carbs, subtract any dietary fibers, and subtract any sugar alcohols from whatever I'm eating, and that'll give you your net carbs. Meat, cheese, eggs, I just consider that all free. I don't worry about counting those carbs. Which is where I know some people are going to start screaming at me when I say that. But that's just the reality of what I've been doing. So don't judge me for that, because I'm losing. It's working. Now the truth is, when you are counting every carb, certain cheeses do have more carbs than other cheeses, and so you should watch and check, and but I usually stick with sharp cheddar and just count it at 0. Now, I will tell you, as far as cheese goes, there are hidden things that you can easily avoid. In the shredded cheese you buy from the store, it's going to have more carbs than if you buy the block and shred it yourself. They put cornstarch to help it. Anyway, so that's just something to look forward to. If I'm counting it to 0 carbs, then I want to make it sure it's as close to 0 carbs as I can get. Eggs technically have a percentage of a carb per egg. I'm just going to round that down to 0. Meats, real raw whole meats, steak, pork chops, which I eat a lot of steak and pork chops. Your hamburger generally, if it's the hamburger that you fix yourself. Bacon, all those I count as 0 carbs. Now, if I get deli meats, I check those carbs. Usually if it's 2 or less, I still just count it as 0, because who has time to do all that math all day long? I just try to keep it simple. So, but some deli meats will go on up to 3 or 4, and that's, we have to start counting. At 3, it's got to be counted. That's my personal philosophy. I also try to keep my carbs under 9 carbs per meal. I don't always succeed at that. But what you do really focus on, what I really do focus on, is making sure that I don't go over that 20 per day. Now, what happens if I hit 21 carbs a day, or 22, 3, 4? Oh my goodness. That's okay. That's okay. It was a low-ish carb day, and tomorrow will be lower, and it'll be fine. Generally, I find that most days I don't go over 10, and it's just by happenstance. I'm not trying to stay under 10 for life. I mean, I kind of give myself that mental goal, That way when I go over, I'm under 20 and I'm good. But it's not a hard and fast rule. It's not, oh my gosh, I've had 8 carbs today and this 3 carb item is going to put me at 11. I can't have that. No. This for me is a no stress diet. No stress. And it's not even a diet. This is a lifestyle. And I'm going to tell you more about why it's becoming a lifestyle for me soon. But I do want to keep talking about the foods that I eat. Just to keep me through, just to keep me sane, keep me happy. Fajitas. Oh my goodness, I love a fajita. So for that, it's steak meat, onion, bell peppers if you like them. I didn't used to, but since I've started doing this eating style, I have come to embrace the bell pepper because of the great flavor it gives and what it really can add to a meal. Sully's coming in. He's the other pug. And so put it on a low carb tortilla. Mama Rosa's 3 carb tortillas. I've got 3 carbs for my meal. We put some sour cream in there because yum. Sharp cheddar cheese because yum. And all of that, sour cream included, 0 carbs. For that meal, I'm going to count the tortilla and whatever the fajita seasoning packet says. Which is usually 2 or 3 carbs per serving. Which is negligible. That puts me at 6 carbs for that meal. I have 20 for the day. That Mission brand tortillas, but simply the ones that are labeled carb balance tortillas. That's it. Tastes the same, looks the same, feels the same, texture, everything. Carb balance. And it does cost $1 or $2 more. But how much money am I saving on doctor's visits because I'm healthier? How much money am I saving on medicines because I'm not taking all of that diabetic medicine I used to take, all the shots and all the things? And I don't need to. My blood sugar is coming down naturally. I'm now only taking metformin for diabetes. And let me tell you, when I was at my highest weights, I was taking lots of medicine for diabetes. And my blood sugar was in the high 300s, close to 400 constantly. My vision was blurry. My head was foggy. And it's not anymore. It's not perfect. My blood sugar is not perfect yet, but I think it will get there. I have reason to believe it will get there. This morning, my blood sugar was 166. In comparison to waking up at 360, 390, 398, 166, I'm pretty happy with that. And I know that it'll continue to go down. So I've seen it happen so far. I'm believing that it's going to continue to happen. And so I'm saving a lot of money by not being as unhealthy. So if I need to spend an extra $1 or $2 to get the food that I need, that'll keep me sane and keep me balanced and keep me on this way of eating and help keep me healthy overall, I'll do that. So, let's see, steak and eggs, breakfast. Breakfast is easy. Bacon and eggs. Eat all the bacon you want. Save the grease. My husband's doing this way of eating as well, and he's done amazing. He's lost 68 pounds since July. But even still, because it's been pounded into us our whole lives, no fat. I took him a big plate of greasy bacon last week. He got a paper towel and patted it. That was so cute. And then he got scolded. Because you want that fat. This is low carb, high fat, moderate protein. That's the rules. Low carb, high fat, moderate protein. So everything I cook, I really think everything I cook, I start with butter, not margarine. Never use margarine. I start with butter or bacon grease or sausage grease or coconut oil. And I have a bottle of extra virgin olive oil on the side just in case for some miracle I don't have some sort of meat grease to use. And sometimes I run out of butter. So I have that. And coconut oil also is over there. I use that mostly for the fat bombs, but that's something we'll talk about later. And so I just keep it simple. My sweet little puppy is over here. Easy peasy breakfast. Breakfast is easy. All the eggs. And whenever I started this, I made a big batch of tuna salad and deviled eggs. And so anytime I was hungry, I ate something. One of the two of those things was in my mouth. Do not deprive yourself. If you are hungry, eat. Eat. You don't have any reason to starve. You can have the low carb way of life and be satiated and happy. There are so many yummy foods that you can eat, and easy foods. And so for my tuna salad, and your recipe will be different. I don't measure anything either. Just there's that. But I dump in, let's say, 4 cans of tuna. I use a boiled egg for every can of tuna. And then I put in a couple of tablespoons of relish, which does have carbs. But when it's spread across 4 cans of tuna and everything else, they're minimal. Negligible even. So I don't worry about those carbs in this. And then I put in mustard, which is 0 carb. Mayonnaise. Real mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip or some other thing. And some people will say even use the mayonnaise made from olives. That's your business. I use real mayonnaise in my tuna salad. And I diced onions and put it in there. If you don't want onions, maybe an onion powder. Just for a little flavor. Not a lot. Not enough to break down your carb balance, but just enough for flavor because your food needs to be good. And so I'll eat that in a bowl with a fork. I mix it all up. It's yummy. Salt and pepper a little bit. Any of that with a fork. Or I make cheese chips. Cheddar cheese. I get the cheddar cheese slices that would go on a sandwich. I break them into fourths, lay them out on a plate, or on a pan, cook them on parchment paper. I brush mine with Louisiana hot sauce all the way across the whole piece of cheese. Bake it for 10 to 12 minutes at 350, and they come out yummy, yummy. And I use those. I will pick tuna salad up on my fork, put it on my cheese chip. It's crunchy, yummy, yum. No need to be hungry, especially in those few days. But this gives me protein, it gives me fat, and it gives me a crunch that I crave. And then, deviled eggs, those are just great. Same mixture, basically. I don't put tuna in it. I use all the same ingredients with my egg yolks, and that's how I make my deviled eggs. And that mayonnaise is good healthy fats. You need to have healthy fats. Again, low carb, high fat, moderate protein in the high fat. It's hard for a lot of people to wrap their head around. Never eat anything that says low fat or reduced fat on the label. Don't do it. They've replaced that fat with something you don't need to replace the flavor. That's just the truth of the matter. Often, it's high fructose corn syrup. Never eat high fructose corn syrup. Never. Don't do it. Everything else, count it. Count your carbs. If it's in your carbs, eat it. Unless you find that it's something that doesn't work for you, and then you decide what you eliminate based on your needs, because everyone's different. My husband is doing this. I've told you my brother's also doing this. We have a favorite restaurant here locally that we go to, have gone to literally our entire lives in excess of 40 years. He was going to go there for lunch today and burritos without the tortilla. And he's done that, and he can stay in ketosis with that, and it's yummy, and he has a great meal, and he goes home and life goes on and it's good. I go to the same restaurant, order the same food, eat with the same fork, and I get knocked out of ketosis. That's sad for me. So it's not the same for everybody. And this burrito is a meat burrito. It sounds in theory like you should be able to eat it and be low carb. It's my experience that was a mistake for me. It works out great for him. Everybody's body is going to process things differently. So watch out for that. But because so often, whatever seasonings they use will have cornstarch in it, or it will have flour in it, or masa, or something that's going to add to your carb count that you just aren't seeing and don't know about. So you have to ask questions. Be prepared. There's another restaurant locally that has really great burritos, and it's like roast meat and pork loin meat and with peppers and onions, and it's yum. But there's not a lot of artificial flavoring in it. No seasoning packets that I can tell. They season with their peppers and onions, and it's amazing. So one option, and some people don't like to, this embarrasses my husband, just being honest, take your own tortilla. No one cares. I mean, you're there, you paid full price, you purchased their food. Unwrap it, flop it on your tortilla, wrap it back up, and now you've got a 6 carb tortilla that it's a known quantity. You know what you're eating in that meal. So I can definitely do that and stay in ketosis. That's good. So, okay, those are some basic tips and tricks with food. But here's why I'm doing this. Not just because I was fat, but because I wasn't healthy. Not just because I didn't like the way my clothes fit, although that was a problem. Because I was unhealthy. I am 40 years old, sleeping with a CPAP machine, practically doubled in size. I was 14 whenever I was 18 years old. A size 14 when I was 18. So I've always been not a small person. But I was still a 14 several years later. 6 years later? 6 years later when I had my first child. And still a 14 3 years later when I had my second child. And somewhere between that day and 14 years later, because she's 14 years old now, I've gone from a size 14 to a size 22. My vision was compromised. Everything was fuzzy. I couldn't focus. I couldn't remember things. And now it's back. I can focus. I know what's happening. I can remember driving down the highway. Oh yeah, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to visit my mother. Rather than, I guess I'll just go home. I don't remember why I was coming here. That's what I was having with my high blood sugar. I had no idea. All the time. I was so confused. I had to write everything down, which is not a bad habit. You should write things down. Taking notes is great. A to-do list is awesome. But that was the only way I was making it. And that's not how anybody wants to live. I didn't have the energy to hang out with my kids, to have fun with them, to go play with them. They're older now, but for, the park, I would go. But it was a sacrifice. It was hard. It was difficult. I would go to the doctor, my endocrinologist, who had me on all of these medicines for diabetes. Oh, you're wet, honey. Sorry. Mike just came in from outside. I guess it must be still raining. Anyway, I would go to him and I would sit down in his lobby and wait for my name to be called, and I would stand up and walk from the lobby to the back of the doctor's office, weigh myself, go sit down in the room, and I would be out of breath. That's not quality of life. I don't have that now. I stood in here in this summer and last night after putting on my size 14 jeans, and I danced. No. Get down. I danced. I ran in circles. I had quite a little celebration with myself. And I did not get out of breath in all of that time. I used to get out of breath walking from the lobby to the doctor's office where the little table was. Not anymore. I was out here 2 nights ago because we have a big floor space in this room. And I was line dancing, something I haven't done in years. And I was doing it in my high-heeled boots, which I sure haven't done in years. In fact, I stopped wearing them because my calves were so wide, I couldn't zip them up anymore. Not anymore. They fit now. I was wearing them, line dancing in my sunroom, because for me, traditional exercising doesn't keep my attention. I don't want to do it. But getting up, dancing, moving, that's burning calories. That's burning body fat. It's getting my stamina built back up. I used to dance for hours. So I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. What is, oh. He sees a party balloon for my husband's birthday party. Mike. Mike. So there's that. That balloon has been in this house for 2-3 weeks. It's a Mylar balloon with helium. And every time he sees it, he does this. We keep moving it. I guess we just need to deflate it. Hi! This is Sully. So, that's my story. I'm healthier, I'm happier, I have more energy. My blood sugar has gone from almost 400 consistently and constantly down to 166 this morning. I think it was 159 when I went to bed last night. Things are better. I can see this screen. I can see the letters. I can read what it has to say where I couldn't. It's amazing. It's good. It's low stress, easy. Milk. I forgot milk. I try to avoid it as much as possible. There are certain types of milk that are lower carb than others. I use heavy whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream is amazing. Amazing. You can use it in meals that need milk. And it adds such a luscious flavor, delicious flavor, thick, luxurious type flavor to your food. And now Sully says the balloon. And so, heavy whipping cream is great. Also, I have been drinking Slim Fast, not as a low carb drink, not as a meal replacement. It's the Slim Fast Advanced Nutrition. They do have a keto line, which I've not experienced yet, but I will. And when I do, I'll let you know what I think. But it's Slim Fast Advanced Nutrition. I get the creamy mocha, I think is what it's called. And I fix that different ways with ice and heavy whipping cream instead of milk or water. Heavy whipping cream and water instead of milk. Let's say that right. And it's yummy. Smooth silk yum. And so depending on how much ice I use, if I use warm water or cold water, things like that, it can affect the thickness of it. And so sometimes I'll fix it as a runny little drink, and just to get some chocolate in my face, because I like chocolate. Dark chocolate also approved, of course, count the carbs. But so sometimes I'll do that just as a little drink. Sometimes I'll make it really icy and thick, and it's like a shake from wherever, Dairy Queen, whatnot. Here locally we have Sonic. I don't know if everybody has Sonic. And it's yummy. It can be a nice thick shake. Sometimes I'll add extra whipping cream, blend it a little longer, make sure to make it with the cold water instead of warm water, extra ice, and it'll be thick enough that I can eat it with a spoon like it's an ice cream. And that's nice. So, and I don't eat it, like I said, as a meal replacement at all, because I'm not going to give up my yummy foods, and there's plenty of them to eat whenever you're doing low carb, in lieu of a shake. But sometimes I want dessert, and so I'll eat the shakes as a dessert or a treat. Or sometimes I'll eat my bacon and eggs for breakfast and have a shake with a spoon or two of instant coffee in it. It's like a frappuccino, and it's yummy, and I'll have that for my breakfast drink. It's 3 net carbs whenever you don't make it with milk. And so, yum, and why not? Why wouldn't you have chocolate yumminess in your day when you still have 17 carbs to go? And that's it, your breakfast carbs meet, you're having bacon and eggs, 3 carbs for my shake. Yum. So anyway, that's just kind of a short synopsis. I say short, I don't really know how long I've been talking. This is what I've been doing. I've lost a significant amount of weight. I'm as small as I've ever been as an adult, and I'm moving forward, continuing. I'm in ketosis today, and we're going to keep moving forward. I can't wait until I can come back and say, hey, I'm a size 12 now. Guess what that happened? I haven't been a size 12 since high school, and I don't remember ever being a size 12. I know my freshman year I was a size 9, and I know my senior year I was a size 14. Somewhere between 10 and 11, I hit 12, I'm sure. But, so that'll be a nice day whenever I can say that. Now, I'll say, I realize that I still have this. And I don't know why I'm losing all my weight on my bottom, on my legs, and my stomach, and my boobs, my arms, and not here. But I know eventually all that's going to be gone, and it's going to have to start coming from here. So, we're going to get there. I know we will. And I'd like to ask you all to come along with me.